Thank you for tuning in to our podcast, Módulo Músicos Unidos. Once again, my name is Max, founder of MMP Global Music. You can feel free to visit our webpage at mmpglobalmusic.com. We do provide independent label services for artists, songwriters, composers, producers, engineers. Once again, feel free to visit our webpage for more information, mmpglobalmusic.com. We will also provide a link to our affiliated partner, Soundtrack Your Brand, which provides background music services for all businesses. A very large percentage of businesses do not pay the proper license to utilize music. Okay, so it is very important that all artists, producers, songwriters get paid for their work. For more information about Soundtrack Your Brand, we'll provide the link. Very well, on this episode, we'll provide information about an incident that took place in 2008, and this is the label Universal. All right, there was a fire in 2008, and it was an estimated amount of 500,000 iconic master recordings were lost or destroyed. Okay, one or the other. That's what we don't know. So we're going to take a look at this article published by Marc Schneider. All right, very interesting. That's a lot of master recordings. The irreplaceable master tapes originated from several labels, including Decca, MCA, ABC, Chess, and feature songs from jazz greats like Louis Armstrong, Billie Holiday, and Ella Fitzgerald, to rock and roll architect Chuck Berry, to the earliest material by Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. All right, and this is according to the Times. Virtually all of Buddy Holly's masters were lost, along with most of the masters from John Coltrane's time at the legendary Impulse imprint. So this list of destroyed works spans several genres and generations, including music by B.B. King, Johnny Mitchell, Iggy Pop, Tom Petty, Sonic Youth, No Doubt, Snoop Dogg, Soundgarden, and The Roots. This destruction of master tapes contradicts official statements at the time, including from a Universal spokesperson who told Billboard, "We had no loss." Okay, adding that the company had recently moved most of the stored material on the movie lot to another facility. Elsewhere in its statements, the company did infer that some physical items didn't make it, but that digital copies were already made. Of the small amount that was still there and awaiting to be moved, it had already been digitized, so the music will still be around for many years. And this is, again, according what was told to Billboard at the time. In a statement shared with Billboard, Universal Music Group cited constraints, that is, preventing them from publicly addressing certain details of the fire, but said investments have since been made in order to best preserve and protect these musical assets and to accelerate the digitization and subsequent public availability of catalog recordings. The company also stated the Times report contains numerous inaccuracies, okay, that is, misleading statements, contradictions, and fundamental misunderstandings of the scope of the incident and affected assets. We'll get into a little bit about what Universal Music Group had to say. This is what their response was. Universal had tape archives in separate locations in Los Angeles, in Pennsylvania, near Nashville, and in upstate New York. Another warehouse in Edison, New Jersey, housed most of the masters for Polygram Records, which had been sold to then Universal Music Group, which is the parent Seagram, in 1998. 5 years before the Universal lot fire, Universal Music Group averted another catastrophe at its warehouse in New Jersey when overloaded pallets of salad dressing rained down from an upstairs tenant, rupturing pipes as they fell through the ceiling and spreading water and dressing in a vault holding 350,000 master tapes. notably including the entire Motown catalog. Okay, just imagine that. A $12 million rescue and a restoration operation that included hiring a dozen refrigerated trailers to quick freeze the wet master tapes was a success. Following that Jersey incident, Aronson said he was successful in urging Universal to move the majority of the backlot session reels and multitracks, roughly 250,000 tapes, to the Pennsylvania archives. The 120,000 to 175,000 masters that remained in building 6197 were the recordings that went up in flames in June of 2008. While Universal worked to downplay the fire's damage to the press, internally the staff knew it was bad. This is what Universal had to say regarding this incident. Music preservation is one of our highest priority for us, and we are proud of our track record. While there are constraints preventing us from publicly addressing some of the details of the fire that occurred at the NBC Universal Studios facility more than a decade ago, the incident, while deeply unfortunate, never affected the availability of the commercially released music for impacted artist compensation. Universal Music Group invests more in music preservation and development of high-resolution audio products than anyone else in the music industry. In the intervening years, Universal has made significant investments in technology, infrastructure, and by employing the industry's foremost experts in order to best preserve and protect these musical assets and to accelerate the digitization and subsequent public availability of catalog recordings. In the last 5 years alone, we have more than doubled our investments in storage, preservation, and metadata enrichment while developing state-of-the-art systems to support our global efforts around capturing, preserving, and future-proofing our many media assets. Very well, with Universal's statement, we'll conclude our episode for today. Thank you for tuning into our podcast, Módulo Músicos Unidos. Once again, feel free to visit our webpage for more information, mpglobalmusic.com. We offer independent label services. Our podcast is available at your favorite platform. We are available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher for the Android, TuneIn Radio, Pocket Cast, Audio Mac, Castbox, Radio Public, Overcast, YouTube, Spotify, and many more. Thank you for tuning in.